Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grapperinos, the wrestling pizzeria where we serve you a slice of probably next week on Smackdown. I'm Bryon, and joining me in this endeavor, well, he's excited for Mello, because Smackdown's going to be in Boston this Friday. Mike. Say hi, Mike.
Yes, I'm excited to watch Mello actually get some in-ring time, but just because he's in his hometown, you know for a fact that he's losing this one, Brian. The War Raiders are also wrestling for a championship. I think there are 3 total titles being defended on this episode, which is wild.
Yeah.
It's almost like I could have done this at the pay-per-view we recently had. Summerfest.
It's good to see that you're still angry about the whole Survivor Series deal that went down. It's like, you know what? Instead of giving you guys a PLE, why don't we just give you a Smackdown where a bunch of titles are being defended?
Yeah.
And whoever from Boston is like, yeah.
It's a consolation prize.
That's right. Yeah. They were the LA Knight in this situation. But yeah, no, WWE cares about the tag teams now. We got a triple threat tag team match and a couple others as well, Gonna make that show really good. And what we do here on the show is we predict and also book what we think will happen on that show from beginning to end, and we do it according to these rules. And after that, we tell you what we think will happen. We will watch the next episode of Smackdown when it comes out, and we score our predictions and bookings based on this scoring system. And then we come back here on the next episode of this here show, and we'll do the whole shebang all over again. So, scores. I only got 4 points on this one. I think it's just appearances all around from Tiffany, Chelsea, CM Punk, and Kevin Owens. What about you, Mike?
Yes, I also got 4 points. I got a Chelsea Green promo with an appearance from Tiffany, Kevin Owens promo, and a backstage segment from Nikki Bella. So.
All right. Well done. And as we stated earlier in the intro to this show, well, what is announced, we got a lot. Well, substantial enough, I guess, is the right word for it. We have Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin for the U.S. Championship. We also have Tiffany Stratton going up against Jayne for the Women's U.S. Championship. And we also have War Raiders versus Damian Priest and R-Truth. I thought they were called Wepa Up, but I don't know. I guess we're doing Priest and Truth. And we also have the MFT. I thought they were called the Tongans, but they're now called the MFT. Whatever. It's going to be a triple threat tag team match for the tag team championships because we now care about the tag team division. So there you go. And I think that's about it. So, without further ado, let's book this thing and head to my version of the show first, as Gunther rants to the ring, I guess. He angrily crashes out as he walks to the ring, just breaks a bunch of stuff, even the table. He talks about the current situation with the Undisputed WWE Championship. He has been screwed time and time again with that bastard Nick Aldis, that Smackdown GM. And he wants to find Nick Aldis and talk to him about stuff. So he will go there and try to find him. Or, something will happen. He is interrupted by Nick Aldis, who says that since Gunther is being a little whiny prick, he's going to give him an opportunity tonight. And since we are in the town of Boston, the city of champions, he'll give him an opportunity to go up against Kevin Owens tonight in the main event. And if he wins, He will be inserted into the Kevin Owens versus CM Punk match at Saturday night's main event in Toronto. Or the next week's SmackDown, sorry. Gunther laughs, and he says he will dispatch that fat ass himself. Nick continues to say that, however, if you lose, this will be the last time that you will be able to challenge for the undisputed WWE Championship for a very long time. Gunther's laugh turns to anger. He goes towards Nick Aldis, but he gets separated by security. And then Baron Corbin's music comes out, and Baron Corbin walks out. He looks at Gunther, and Gunther looks at him back. And Baron continues walking to the ring for his match against Carmelo Hayes. So, if Gunther loses the undisputed WWE Championship, at least he has some route to the US Championship. And since Baron Corbin is being booked as the next Gunther, I guess, why not just pit him up against Gunther? That could be an interesting match. So, that's why I have that little tease there. We've been doing some teases lately with the whole Obafemi and Braun Breaker thing, so why not just double down on it on this SmackDown episode? So, speaking of Baron Corbin, let's head into that match now. Carmelo Hayes takes on Baron Corbin for the US Championship. So, apparently, because WWE does not want to give Boston the Survivor Series because I guess Boston hates the WWE, the WWE will hate Boston back. So instead of Carmelo having his moment, I will have Baron Corbin win by pinfall. After the match, Baron continues beating down Carmelo, but, he gets attacked by Trick Williams and his boy, Liliati, who comes back. They beat down Baron Corbin, and he ends up leaving after a move is set up by Trick. Trick turns to Carmelo, and they do a little face-to-face. They get a little angry, and a match is announced later tonight, and it will be a triple threat match for the US Championship at the next week's SmackDown. It'll be Baron, or Saturday night's main event, but it'll be Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. But I will have Baron going over because, again, we got to book him like the next Gunther. So, who's next after that? I mean, there are potential. You could bring back Ilya then. He could be a suitable babyface to take down Baron Corbin. That could be an interesting feud. I guess you could also bring in Ricky Starks, even though he's a heel, but whatever. So, there's some decent names, going around. So, not bad when it comes to choices. But we will stick with Baron going over for now. Tiffany Stratton takes on Jacy Jayne. And I will have Jacy Jayne win by pinfall and take the Women's US Championship from Tiffany. Because, Chelsea Green is injured, apparently. So, I don't think Tiffany Stratton won't have much help there. But anyway, Michael Hayes having the last laugh, that's for sure. After the match, Fatal Influence continues to beat down Tiffany Stratton, but surprise, we got Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Tatum Paxley coming down to help Fatal Influence get out of the ring as Tiffany gets checked on by them. So I think that they will make Fatal Influence the centerpiece of the SmackDown Women's Division. So I think we will get a rematch at Saturday Night's Main Event or the Go Home Show where the Fatal Influence... I said the Fatal Influence. Fatal Influence goes over. But we got Charlotte, Alexa, and Tatum Paxley coming after them. So it could be a nice setup for the Women's War Games match if they decide to put that as a centerpiece feud for that. And I guess it could be a nice faction feud. Put in Jade and the baddies over there. And we got some women's faction goodness, Mike. Aren't you excited? But yeah. That is, I think, will happen. For that, next, backstage, we got Sami Zayn. He continues to rant and crash out on Johnny Gargano and how Kevin Owens gets more opportunities than him. And, He's only been here for a week, and Sami Zayn has been here for years, so what the hell? He is then approached by Gunther, who tells him to help out against Kevin Owens tonight because he knows that Sami knows that Kevin took the opportunity away from him and Sami wants revenge. So what better way to do it than to take out the no good Kevin Owens? Sami says he will think about it, and Gunther replies, I know you'll be out there, and leaves. Sami then asks Johnny about it, and Johnny says nothing because he just lies there because that's his gimmick now, because that's all WWE can do with him, for God's sake. There must be a payoff for this, right? I mean, Johnny's gonna wake up someday, right? Or they're just gonna let him do this until his contract expires. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with Johnny? But, yeah. I will say more about Sami in the main event. But for now, RKO, the Viper, Randy Orton, takes over the ring. He says that Cody is not in the building because he is too busy fuming over what happened last week. He finally explains that he returned because the landscape has changed and now his road to getting number 15 has gotten a little difficult. However, he is not one to run away from a challenge, has to be faced. He rises up to it. He conquers it by any means necessary. He says that he will beat the Nepo baby out of Cody and prove to the world that Cody is not Dusty's kid, but instead, Dusty's B. You can fill in the B. He is attacked from behind by Cody Rhodes because he doesn't have to be the good guy anymore, and now he has to resort to bad guy tactics like that. They brawl around, but Randy's on top as the segment ends. So I think it will lead to Randy versus Cody at some point, maybe Saturday night's main event. We can get the Cody heel turn the fans want after the feud is over, and whatever he wants to face, whoever's at the top of the WWE Championship Sunday, whether it be at CM Punk or Kevin Owens or Gunther or Sami Zayn, doesn't matter, because eventually Cody will be champion once again, but this time as a bad guy. So keep an eye on that, guys. War Raiders take on Priest and R-Truth and MFT in a triple threat match for the tag team championships. I will have War Raiders win by pinfall because, I want an actual tag team to hold the titles. Also, the MFT won't win because Shinsuke Nakamura is coming after him with some other guy, probably another Japanese guy, I don't know. But for some reason, we're bringing back Shinsuke Nakamura because we care about the tag team division now. Good job, WWE. So, I guess it's time to build up this whole division after they have decided to let go of the Marcy Machine Guns and the New Day. So, it's time to build them up, Triple H, for God's sake. Like, you've been saying that you care about the tag team divisions. I have yet to see the proof. So, why not just start now? You got Shinsuke Nakamura and the other Japanese guy. You got the Tongans. Like, come on. Build up. But I think War Raiders will be a great tag team to start off with. MFT is way too early, and Damon Priest and R-Truth are just a makeshift tag team, so who cares? So, Nick Aldis is backstage. Nick Aldis is chatting with Cody about a match against Randy Orton. Nick Aldis says he will make some calls to get that going. He is then confronted. Nick Aldis. He is then confronted by CM Punk, who tells him he will be watching the main event closely, and he will have to get his hands dirty if possible. Nick Aldis tells him to calm down, just watch, and don't do anything stupid like he did last week. CM Punk says nothing, he walks away as Nick Aldis shakes his head. And we head to the main event. Kevin Owens takes on Gunther. So, I will have the match proceed as normal until Sami Zayn goes in to interfere on behalf of Gunther, but he gets interrupted by CM Punk. They get into a little argument as Gunther looks on, and Kevin Owens tries to do a roll-up, but gets a 2. Both Punk and Zayn eventually get into a brawl around the ring and into the back as the match continues. Sometime later, CM Punk comes back with some damage to sell. He interferes on behalf of Gunther, for Gunther to win the match. And he smiles at Kevin Owens as the match is made a triple threat. CM Punk versus Kevin Owens versus Gunther at next week's episode of Smackdown from Toronto. Kevin and Punk go into a little brawl, but Gunther takes them both out with a power bomb and walks out smiling as the show goes off the air. Again, Gunther taking advantage of the hatred between the two men to hopefully try to get that title as easily as possible. I think Punk still goes over in that match though, but we will get Punk versus Cody eventually when Cody is the bad guy. As for Sami Zayn, well, he will continue to play this whole I'm gonna influence the whole main event thing until Royal Rumble happens, and he could win that Royal Rumble easily and go on to face the whoever is going to be the WWE champion at that time. And we'll have that WrestleMania Saudi Arabia moment where Sami Zayn wins, once again, the undisputed WWE Championship. Because Saudi Arabia paid a lot of money for it. So you better do it. And you also got to put on The Undertaker out of retirement for that one match. You better do it. Because Saudi. But yeah, that is a card. Any questions?
Tiffany is injured. I did not hear that she was injured. I know that Chelsea got injured. If Tiffany got injured as well, that would be kind of hilarious that both of the new champions are hurt again. That is now we're going to have another interim women's interim champion.
Again, I'm telling you, man, Michael Hayes just having the last laugh, bro. You think you got him, but, you know?
Good point. All right.
Tiffany Stratton, I don't think she's injured. I mean, otherwise this match would not have happened. But it is announced, so I have no idea.
Do you foresee them doing a Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes at WrestleMania?
Next year?
Yeah,
probably.
Saudi.
Yeah,
Saudi. Okay.
I mean, I think WWE has to sort of continue to build up the US mid-card kind of thing, because for now, it revolves around Trick Williams, and that's it. I think they have to build up the other people on that, circle first. Like, you have to build up Baron Corbin as this dominant guy. You have to book Ilya Dragunov, I guess, if he's going to be in that circle as well. There's a lot of really good folks in that mid-card division. Just hanging around and doing nothing. And it doesn't matter how good your mid-card is if you're not going to book them and showcase them to the people to make them care. So, put them out there, I think that Carmelo and Trick, that, needs to take more time. You got to build up Carmelo first, make sure that the people really, really, get behind him. Or he's a heel, so you got to make him, a really good heel. But, get some heat on him first. Otherwise, it's going to look kind of dumb, and the people are going to overwhelmingly cheer for Trick. So, next year, yes.
Okay, I kind of agree as well. That's what they're aiming for. If Triple H keeps Carmelo around and doesn't just stick to big dudes, so like they seem to be doing.
On Raw, so.
Yep, and then Baron Corbin is now being pushed because he's big and tall, and Trick Williams is being pushed because he's big and tall.
They're trying to find the next Big Show, bro. Who is going to have 1,000 face and heel turns? I'm watching. I'm watching.
All right. I don't have any more questions, but I do have some news that I've picked up as you've been recording. I was looking forward to confirm the matches on Friday for SmackDown, right? But apparently, I don't know where Jordan Grace has been, but she got banned off a cage match for spamming a bunch of 1-star reviews on other people's matches.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
Well, first of all, don't go to Cage Match to look up freaking stars for matches. Come on.
Don't look up your own stats. Yeah,
you're better than that.
Yes. Yeah. Apparently, there's going to be a dark match tomorrow as well. It's going to be Cody and Oba for the Raw Tag Team Championship versus The Vision. It's a dark match. So.
Oh, well. Guess who wins that one? Yeah.
I saw that announcement from the stadium itself, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized that, it's probably a dark match. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
you
have to take into account, too, when you're booking that the listed superstars are probably also can count for dark matches as well. Okay, final SmackDown-related question, Bryon.
All right.
So, given that Chelsea and it seems like that the aim right now is to build towards War Games, and it seems like it's going to be the Fatal Influence and maybe whatever the fuck Nia Jackson Lash Legends team name is. That eludes me right now.
The Irresistible
Forces? The Takeover? Oh, no, okay. Irresistible Forces, right. Takeover is Jade Cargill's team. Either them or maybe a combination of like Jade Cargill's team and Fatal Influence, whatever. Because the Takeover. Fuck, jeez, man. These are so stupid names. The Takeover and Irresistible Forces, Fatal Influence. What the f are these names, man? These are like 2010s era like MLG team names, bro. Good lord. Okay, so the Irresistible Forces, I think, actually interfered last week to help out Fatal Influence. Whether they were helping Fatal Influence or just attacking the faces. So, given all the injuries on the face woman side, what do you think the plan is now? Because from what I've heard from you now, obviously Rhea's injured, Chelsea's injured, Tiffany is injured. So, are you going to bring up another face like Lola Vice and just stack the team with a bunch of rookies? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, they brought up Tatum Paxi last week, so, that's another face there. I guess she's there to cover up Alexa Bliss, who's having an injury. Yes, I guess the way to solve this is just to call up a bunch of NXT people, and hopefully that fixes it. The only issue I see with that is after the whole, thing is sorted out. By that, of course, I mean after everyone has been healed and they come back, you're going to essentially run into a situation where you're going to have to run the whole page angle multiple times to many people. So, I don't know. I could see them calling up maybe one or two women, or maybe even have this sort of thing in the War Games match where whoever is the leader of the babyface team kind of has to go around and recruit a bunch of people from NXT to join the War Games match this year. I could see that being a possibility. But, yeah, I don't really see... I mean, I guess maybe have Julia. Julia's your last hope, but you freaking buried her, you idiots. So, I don't know. Yeah, just either put some woman from Raw on that War Games team or just call up people from NXT. So, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate, but also you gotta think it's kind of funny that every time one of these women win a championship, they immediately go down with injury. So,
yeah. Well, not
Yeah.
everyone's like Liv Morgan, unfortunately.
Maybe that's the secret. Maybe if you just don't wrestle, you don't get injured. But in Liv Morgan's case, she gets injured in backstage segments, so...
Yeah. Where it doesn't matter. 'Cause it's
Okay,
just a backstage
final unrelated question. I've heard a lot of rumors that Bayley might be leaving. Do you think she is leaving, or do you think that they're going to keep her around?
Oh. Well, Bailey is a case like the New Day where she has been with the company for quite a while now, and I think Bailey is sort of a Triple H guy. I mean, she was part of the whole, NXT thing when Triple H was heading there, along with Becky and the others. I think it's just the booking lately with her has kind of been absolutely god awful, to where I don't know if they're just letting her sit out the contract and then, being like goodbye, or, maybe she decided that that's it and that she's going to leave. So I think that there is some truth to her potentially leaving. I don't want her to go to AEW, for God's sake. God dang. Like that women's division AEW do not need Bailey. Maybe go to like TNA or something. I don't know. But if she does decide to leave, then I think good on her, because honestly, the booking recently with her has been pretty trash. And going someplace else maybe might be sort of the thing for her to rekindle the love of wrestling for her, or something like that. If she does decide to continue, I would like her to go back to SmackDown, honestly, because Raw has been not so great for her. This whole rivalry with Lyra, it went to her just, being like, I'm done. So SmackDown would definitely be a great pick for her if she wants to stay. But there is some truth to her leaving. So kind of a half answer there.
Okay, yeah, I think she might have done everything she could have in WWE, and I mean, I know I've seen rumors that she's going to AEW, but there's nothing substantial. I know that there have been significant rumors that she's kind of frustrated with the booking, as are most people, including myself. So I think
Well,
she
if,
might leave.
People go over, we put them in that spot.
Well, correction, Brian. It's if the company gets them over. If you try to go and get yourself over, that's a big no-no. And that's way better you. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I think she might spend some time in the independents for a little bit, and then maybe eventually come back. But anyway, I think I am ready for my card, Brian.
All right. Let's move on, whatever the hell you want to call the transition. Let's go into your card then. Whatever, starting off with...
So we're going to kick off the show with Kevin Owens coming out to cut a promo. Last week, it was confirmed that Kevin Owens was cashing in, figuratively, his number one contendership opportunity next week in Toronto on Smackdown. I believe it's in Toronto. So he says he is preparing right now to fight CM Punk next week. He is then interrupted by Sami Zayn. Sami comes down. They had a bit of a confrontation last week, where Sami sort of was passive aggressive towards Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens didn't really care for Sami. So Sami Zayn says that he is rooting. He says the same thing he did last week. He's rooting for Kevin, and he'd rather want to see him with the belt versus CM Punk. He says he'll help Kevin in any way possible. Kevin says that he doesn't need Sami Zayn's help, but he does appreciate Sami's support. Sami reminds Kevin that just because they're friends doesn't mean he'll stop chasing the title that he had for a week, regardless if Kevin wins or not. Gunther then appears and attacks Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn kind of just does nothing. So I think what happens next Friday, I don't think CM Punk drops it. I think what happens is maybe Sami tries to help, and either he gets Kevin disqualified or inadvertently he causes Kevin to lose. And that starts a feud between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn again. After this, we have a backstage segment. Carmelo Hayes is interviewed. He puts himself over for his upcoming match. He says that here in his hometown, he's going to finally reclaim his U.S. title from that bald idiot Baron Corbin, and he is going to win because he is him. And that match is next. It is the men's U.S. title, Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes. Unfortunately for Carmelo Hayes, I think Baron Corbin wins this one clean because Triple H hates people who complain on Twitter. F's in the chat for Carmelo Hayes. I think Baron then attempts a post-match beatdown on Carmelo, but Carmelo is saved by Trick Williams, who comes out and fights off Baron Corbin. I think they're going to run back Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams one more time, and then maybe Carmelo gets back in that fold. So we'll see. After this, we have another tag team title, or another title match. We have the WWE tag team titles. We have the Tongans, Tala Tonga and Tama Tonga with Haku, versus the War Raiders versus Damian Priest and R-Truth. I think the War Raiders win this one via pinfall. Someone from the hometown has to go over, so because Carmelo loses earlier, I think the War Raiders win. I think Ivar Bryan is from Quincy, so there you go. There's your consolation prize for Carmelo Hayes losing. So what happens in this match? I think that Shinsuke makes his return and interferes on the Tongans and gives the War Raiders the win. Shinsuke, I believe, had a vignette last week saying that he had history specifically with Tama Tonga, and he is probably going to go after them. So after this, we have another backstage segment. Charlotte Flair is interviewed about what happened last week. She says that, Jade and her crew are nothing but a bunch of reckless thugs that go around beating up people when they least expect it, and they come out of nowhere and attack Charlotte Flair and beat her up. So I think this plays into the women's U.S. title match later. As for where this goes, I don't know. It seems like they have a number of options going towards War Games. They have a lot of heel women, but not enough spots for War Games, so which is a rarity for them because typically they have to shoehorn a bunch of people together. But now they have a lot of heel women, and they actually have options. So we'll see what they do with it. Probably nothing good because they can never do anything good on this company. So after this, we have Cody Rhodes coming out for a promo. Cody talks about Randy Orton yet again. Says that he's ready to fight Randy whenever Randy is ready. He takes off his jacket, takes off his tie, takes off his vest, throws in the ring. Does all the stuff he normally does. His laundry bill must be insane with how dirty he gets all of his suits. CM Punk then interrupts Cody instead of Randy Orton. CM Punk tells Cody that he's dealt with Randy Orton before, and this Randy is different than the one that Cody fought last year, and he tells Cody to watch out for himself because this Randy is the legend killer and not your typical Randy Orton. Where this goes, I think this is definitely heading towards a climax in Saudi Arabia. Because the Saudis love themselves a a legend pop, and who is the biggest legend pop on the roster right now? That is Randy Orton. And the Saudis love Cody Rhodes, so I think we'll get a match at probably War Games, and then I think that maybe Randy wins that one via some dusty finish, and then we get in the rematch at WrestleMania. So, which is good. I think we need Cody away from the title for a little bit, and this gives him the opportunity to do so. So, after this, we have a women's U.S. title match: Tiffany Stratton versus Jacy Jayne. So, I think Jacy Jayne wins this one. I think I agree with you, Bryan, that they're building the Fatal Influence to be the main women's faction on SmackDown. I think that what happens here is Fatal Influence interferes. Tatum Paxley tries to fight them off because Charlotte now is work injured as well as Alexa Bliss. So there is no backup. Chelsea is shoot injured, so she can't help out as well, and possibly Tiffany Stratton. So the numbers game works out in Fatal Influence's manner, and Jacy Jayne manages to win via a roll-up on Tiffany Stratton. So, obviously Tiffany Stratton is not here because she is fighting in this match. I am a dumbass. So, yeah, I think Jacy Jayne wins. Fatal Influence now have 2 of the 3 women's titles on SmackDown, and are billed as probably the main faction going into War Games. And for the main event, you have Kevin Owens versus Gunther. I think Kevin Owens wins via pinfall thanks to help from Sami Zayn. I think Sami interferes unknowingly to help Kevin. This is 50-50 booking for next week, where I think Kevin loses to CM Punk in Toronto. And that starts a feud, like I said, between Sami and Kevin Owens. So, Bryan, do you have any questions?
Yes, but before that, I think it told me Ivar is from Quincy, so I think you did. I know, which is
I think a while back I did,
cool,
yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be pretty cool to see War Raiders win. We'll see. So, regarding the Sami Zayn Owens feud that you are pitching, we have seen this a lot of times. If you're going about the history of this company, one of the things that they try to do is to, have best friends, fight each other for a very long time. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is definitely one of those cases. And they have done this feud a million times in the company. So my question is, how would you make it fresh this time? Knowing that Gunther and I guess Cody and Punk and all these other main event players are in the background, like, how would you make Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens not the same as the other times that they have faced each other?
Oh, I think it's simple. I think what happens here is that Kevin Owens gets a rematch, maybe at War Games, and then Sami Zayn and Gunther face off in a number 1 contendership match. I think Gunther loses thanks to some heelish tactics from Sami Zayn. I know Gunther's a heel, but whatever. And I think the feud is Kevin Owens as the champion versus Sami Zayn. That's how you make it fresh.
Whoa. Okay, so you're just gonna integrate Gunther in there. Fair enough.
Or you do it for number 1 contendership again after Kevin Owens loses. So some higher stakes than previous, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like, you're not gonna hot potato the championship around, right? That just seems,
No, I think they're keeping it on CM Punk. I think that he is. I think he's actually, he's sort of the dying drawer. So I think he's gonna keep it for a while.
The dying drawer. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it that. I guess people are still calling him Punk Hogan. He even referenced that in his promo, so yeah, I guess he is proud of that. Maybe he's working heel. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, So, in the Cody Rhodes and CM Punk segment that you pitched, there was no Kevin Owens. Now, I saw last week that Kevin Owens had a little interaction with Cody when Kevin Owens walked out and Cody wanted to hand him the mic. He just like stared at him angrily or something and just grabbed the mic. He didn't say a word. So, I guess the question is, could you see like a potential Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes feud in the future? Could you see it sort of happening after the CM Punk feud against Kevin Owens, or where do you sort of see this?
Yeah, so I think that I think they're going to run the CM Punk feud probably through until War Games. So that'll get us until like November. I think that's where this is heading. Yeah.
So you're gonna stick with Kevin Owens versus CM Punk through November?
Yes.
Is what you're saying?
Yep.
All right. What about after that?
After that, maybe you do Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for the title at like a B tier pay-per-view, and then from there, I don't know who gets it. Maybe Gunther gets it back. It's hard to say with this company, though.
Yeah. No, for sure. I feel like half of the booking in this company is trying to outsmart the smart fans. and they lose. So, well, in the long term. Okay. I guess last question. Where does Randy Orton fit into all this? I mean, sure, he's feuding with Cody, and he wants that number 15. Could you see this number 15 happening next year? Maybe at a SummerSlam next year? Because I think WrestleMania is going to be about Sammy, so could you see Randy?
Yeah, I think WrestleMania next year is a good spot for it. I think that they're going to give him the feud with Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania, and then I think after that is a good spot. I think, this is sort of, I think he loses this feud against Cody, and then he has like this one last dance run, try and get number 15, and then after that, maybe he loses a retirement match to Gunther.
Okay.
And
Randy, yeah.
So
yeah, Randy retires next year. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's all we got for what we think will happen in the next episode of SmackDown. And as I stated earlier, we will watch the next episode of SmackDown when it comes out, and we will score our predictions and bookings. We'll come back here to tell you what we got. We'll do this whole booking shenanigans all over again. So, yeah, stay tuned. So until then, thank you for ordering a slice of probably next week on SmackDown from Grapperinos. And remember, if you're down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, stop on by at Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you next time, everybody.